Today, let's talk about investing, but maybe from an angle you haven't considered before, through the lens of faith. We're going to unpack the biblical case for why starting to invest early isn't just a smart money move, but, a really profound act of wisdom and stewardship.
How many of us have had this thought? I'll get serious about investing when I'm making more money, right? It almost feels like the responsible thing to do. But what if that's not actually the wisest way to look at it? The big idea we're diving into is this powerful shift. It's not about being perfect, it's about starting early. Because when it comes to investing, time is way more valuable than getting the timing just right, or starting with a huge pile of cash.
And that brings us right to our first point: time over timing. So many of us get paralyzed thinking we have to be a genius and time the market perfectly, or that we need a ton of money to even start. But the truth is, the most valuable asset God has given us for this journey is simply time.
And here's the beauty of it. Starting early actually makes investing less risky, not more. It means you're letting time itself do all the heavy lifting for you. You can start with small, consistent amounts, and they'll have decades to grow. And you know what? If you make a mistake, which we all do, it ends up being a cheap lesson, not some catastrophic disaster that messes up your whole financial life.
This isn't some newfangled idea. Just listen to this wisdom from Ecclesiastes. This is ancient advice. It's basically telling us to diversify and think long-term. It's not about finding that one get-rich-quick scheme. No, it's about wisely preparing for a future that, let's be honest, none of us can predict. It's a foundational biblical principle of preparation.
Okay, so let's build on that. Our next section gets into something that feels really financial, but it actually reflects a deep spiritual principle. We're talking about compounding as part of God's very design for growth.
So, what even is compounding? It sounds complicated, but it's not. It's not magic, it's just patience getting its reward. All it means is your money earns money, and then that new money starts earning its own money. It's like a snowball rolling downhill. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger on its own.
And this is where it just clicks, doesn't it? Jesus himself gave us the perfect metaphor for this, the mustard seed. He said it's one of the smallest seeds, but when it grows, it becomes this huge tree. That is the very heart of compounding. A small, faithful investment, something you start early and just give time to, can grow into something so much bigger than you could have ever imagined.
This chart right here really shows you the magic. That first bar, that's what you put in. The second bar, that's what your money earned. But look at that third bar, the earnings on your earnings. Over time, that thing just explodes. See, at first, it feels like nothing, just pennies earning pennies. But after a decade, 2 decades, that third bar, the growth on your growth, becomes the most powerful engine in your portfolio. It can end up being way bigger than everything you contributed yourself. And that's the engine you turn on the day you decide to start early.
Now, of course, knowing all this is one thing. Actually doing it is a whole other story. So let's get real for a minute and talk about the fears that hold us back and the incredibly high cost of just waiting.
And listen, these reasons are completely real. I get it. Your income feels stretched thin already. You've got heavy family responsibilities that have to come first. And that fear of losing money, that's a big one. It's so easy to tell yourself that waiting is the safe, responsible choice.
But here's the hard truth we have to face. Waiting isn't the safe option. It's actually the most expensive one. Every single year you wait, you lose a year of that compounding power we just talked about. And what that means is, to get to the same finish line, you're going to have to save way more money out of your own pocket, you might have to take on way more risk, and you'll probably have to work longer.
The book of Proverbs gives us the perfect antidote to procrastination. It says, "Go to the ant." Think about it. The ant doesn't wait until the first snowflake falls to start getting ready. Nope. It uses the summer, this season of opportunity, to prepare. Wisdom means preparing before the pressure hits. All right, so we've talked a lot about the why. Let's switch gears to the how. This part is all about simple, practical steps for getting started wisely. And let me just say, you absolutely do not need to be a financial genius to do this. Here it is, 4 simple steps. Number 1, just be consistent. Even if it's a small amount every month, consistency is king. 2, think long term. This is not about getting rich quick, okay? This is stewardship, not gambling. 3, keep it simple. You don't need complex strategies, just simple, diversified investments. And 4, stay disciplined. Let your faith guide your decisions, not the fear you see in the headlines.
This verse from Luke just takes this whole conversation to another level, doesn't it? It frames how we handle our money here on earth as a kind of training ground. Being faithful, being disciplined with our finances, week after week, year after year, It's a reflection of our spiritual trustworthiness. It's building a foundation for even greater things.
And that really brings us to the ultimate goal here. Why are we even doing this? Because, spoiler alert, it's not about getting rich for the sake of getting rich. It's about investing with a purpose, a kingdom purpose.
When you prepare wisely and start early, look at the fruit it can produce. It means having the ability to truly care for your family, to generously support your church in its work around the world. It means being able to give freely when you see a need, without being afraid. And yet, it means being able to retire with dignity, without being a burden. The goal isn't just about having more, it's about having a greater capacity to do good.
So really, the simple truth that's woven through all of this is pretty clear, right? The wise store up, and God honors preparation. It's a principle you see all through Scripture, and it applies directly to how we manage every resource He's entrusted to us.
So please, don't wait for the perfect time or for that next big raise. Just start. Start now, start small, and stay faithful. And that leaves us with one final, very personal question. God has given you the incredible gift of time. How are you going to steward it?